Hi, y'all. I wanted to show you something real quick. I have gotten a lot of questions about the practice exercises at the end of chapter 2. So I'm going to go with you through part of making the agriculture map. So that is steps 3 and 4 of the practice exercises. And we're also going to look at steps 8 and 9. So the first thing you're going to do is create a new map. You don't want to use your old map. You want to start with a new one. And you're going to give it the name of the map we're doing. So I'm going to say agriculture, or maybe even, Oregon agriculture. Cool. Now I'm going to go into my catalog and I'm going to open up my folders. And excuse me, it's this one, Oregon data. The first thing I am going to do is add my counties layer. There we go. And there's counties. Now, the counties layer has got a lot of stuff going on. If you go into the attribute table, it's got more than just the shape of the county. It's got population, it's got demographic data of all kinds. And if you go towards the tail end, you get number of farms, which I believe is in 2012, and also the square miles of the county. So we have our counties selected. We're going to go into symbology, and we're going to want to do a graduated symbol map, or graduated colors, I should say, where the color is darker depending on the farm density. So we picked graduated colors, and we're going to change our field over to farms, number of farms. Here we go. And now we're going to normalize it by the square miles. And you can think of this as farms divided by square miles, number of farms per square mile. And I like this 5-class classification because with this, you can see that there's a lot of farms up here around Portland, which is kind of the biggest population center. So it makes sense. A lot along the I-5 corridor and the Cascades, the west side of the Cascades. And then there's a little medium high concentration over here in the eastern Oregon along the Columbia, which is kind of interesting. So we've got a map showing the density of farms, and we're going to label the county names. So let's see if I can get over to labels. There we go. I'm going to hit label, and it's labeling by name, which is what I want. Perfect. Now we want to show the transportation routes symbolized by type. So I'm going to go back to my catalog, and I'm going to expand the transportation section. I'm going to add airports. I'm going to add highways, and I'm going to add rail. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to symbolize, let's see here, let's start with my airports. Go to symbology. I want single symbol, but I want something other than this red dot. So I'll type in air. Here we go. Here's some different symbols. I like this one for now. Great. There's my airport symbolized. Rail. Let's click on that. We're going to change this symbol to, oh, here's a railroad symbol. I like it. Great. That makes sense. Now, highways is a special case. And you're going to want to follow the directions earlier in the chapter. Let's see here. It is on the instructions you're looking for. Start on page 69 with step 30. And there's some great information on symbolizing your highways so that you've got different values for interstates, US highways, and state highways. So you're going to want to do that. For now, I'm going to turn this off, but I would like to see you symbolize your highways using those instructions, just like you did in the tutorial. In fact, I am going to remove this for now. Okay, so going back to page 75, we have a map of counties showing the density of farms with county names, and we have transportation routes symbolized by type. Now here's the clincher. Steps 8 and 9, examine the legends in the contents pane. Be sure they use good classification schemes, rounded label values, and appropriate significant digits or decimal places. Be sure that each layer has an informative and capitalized name. We're going to do that part first. I'm going to go into airports. We want all of these to be in title case. So there's airports fixed. I'm going to change this. Nobody knows what rail 100K means. So I'm going to say railroads. And over here, I'm going to make the counties layer the farm density layer. And down here, a lot of people I think don't realize they can change this data label here. You're going to want to click that and give it something that will make more sense to your viewer, like number of farms per square mile. And as long as your layer titles are in title case, that's what we're looking for. So we've got that. Next, we want to make sure we've got appropriate significant digits or decimal places. And our farm density is a big one for that. We're going to select it, go over to our symbology pane, and we're going to go on to advanced symbology options. This is all in the tutorial, by the way. We're going to open up format labels, and we're going to take our significant digits down to 2. I feel like 2 significant digits is a really easy to look at version for a layperson. If you're in the sciences, you might care about more, but just for a rough overview, 2 significant digits is plenty. So we've got that part done. We've got rounded label values. That's good. And good classification schemes. So that would be like if we had our railroads above our airports, that would make our airports rather hard to see. And another thing that would be an example of a bad classification scheme would be if instead of having our graduated colors, it would make it really hard to see if we had graduated symbols or proportional symbols. That just really clutters up the map and is hard to visualize compared to the graduated colors map. And you can adjust your color scheme however you like. If you did something like this where it changes from one color to another, that actually is a little harder for some people to interpret than a color ramp like this one here, where it's lighter green in the less dense and darker green in the more dense areas. So just pick something that you like that's going to be easy for a layperson to interpret and understand. And I actually really like this green ramp, so I'm going to keep it. So your map should look a little bit like this, with capitalized layer names, with rounded farm density. Whoops, I need to fix this so that it's on farm density again and not population. Here we go, number of farms, 12, normalized by square miles. There we go. Oh, that's much better. So, oh, and I need to fix my labels again. There we go, much better. Okay, it should look like this, where you have rounded label numbers, and you have capitalized layers, you have a classification scheme that allows you to see it. This is actually a little rough now that I'm looking at it because the railroads blend in with the county lines too much. So this is actually a problem with this classification scheme, and I bet you guys can do way better. And lastly, the highways layer, which I don't have shown here, you're going to want to symbolize that like you did in the tutorial. All right, folks, good luck. If you get stuck or you have questions, please let me know. Good luck.